This is The Final Word.
Good evening, I'm Albie Oxenrider. Welcome to The Final Word, the show that invites you, the fans, into the conversation. You can get your opinion on TV right here every Sunday night at 11:35.
Up in the air to shallow left center field. Barmes is out, and Barmes makes the over-the-shoulder catch, and that is your ball game. Save.
And the Pirates, well, they get a win, which is always nice. Sometimes the town tends to panic when they lose. Let's get started by introducing you to tonight's three panelists from Channel 11. It's Bill Phillips from The Trib, Dan Kovacevic, and Mark Kaboly. Welcome to the show, the one, the only Mark Kaboly. Now that's Murderer's Row, with all respect to the 27 Yankees. Tonight's big topics: why the panic with the Bucks? We're going to talk about that, as well as the trade deadline approaching. What trades do the Pirates have to make? What position battles for the Steelers intrigue you? Camp starts Friday. The NHL involvement in the Olympics, good or bad for hockey, and Tiger Woods and the chase of Jack Nicklaus. Will Tiger ever catch Jack? At the very least, will he ever win another major? We start with the Bucks. Dan, why do so many fans want to push the panic button every time the Pirates lose?
Well, I mean, it's who we are. It's been 20 years. I get that. I get reactions within the game from readers on Twitter, through emails, that are just saying, every time Clint Hurdle makes a bad decision, it's the end of the world. It's collapse 3. Although, that said, I also understand that the Pirates do have a difficult challenge ahead here. 1/3 of all their remaining games are against the Reds or Cardinals, teams that they're going to be going up against. The Cardinals never lose. The Reds, I think, have been an underachiever. It's going to be difficult. There's no question about that. And the Pirates aren't going to be able to take their foot off the gas just yet, because now they're going into Washington with the team that's, in theory anyway, behind them in the Nationals.
All right, and Mark Kaboly, camp starts Friday, which adds to this because football season starts up, and that's really what a lot of fans have grown accustomed to waiting for.
Yeah, I think that's a little different this year, though. I think why there's such a big panic when the Pirates lose a lot now is because probably the 37 wins in August and September combined over the past 2 years. That will do that to the fan base. But to be honest with you, I think a lot of these fans are following a pennant race for the first time, and I don't even know if they know how to follow a pennant race correctly, to be honest with you. I mean, these things happen in baseball. You lose some, you win some. This is not football. You don't have to win 12, 13 games to get into the playoffs. You're able to lose a couple games and still be where you need to be. So I think it's just learning as a fan base. This is how it happens in baseball sometimes.
That's a good point, Mark. And Bill, maybe that's exactly what's wrong here. Some fans anyway, have forgotten how to root for the Bucks.
Well, we went from a pretty good start to the season to all of a sudden you're at the All-Star break with 56 wins, and suddenly we go from that mark to they need to be in the playoffs, they need to win the division, they're going to go to the World Series, is how the media, especially nationally when they got a hold of it, has portrayed this story. That just doesn't happen. You never know how this thing's going to play out. I'm old enough to remember growing up in New England, the Red Sox collapsing. They were up 14 games over the Yankees, blew the entire lead down the stretch. We saw the Pirates last year. They struggled to the finish. You have to take it game by game. You can't, if you take 1 of 3 in Cincinnati, that's not the worst thing in the world. Cincinnati's a good team. They're going to win 2 of 3 in most of the series they play at home. The Pirates got a big win today. They have to keep their head above water on this road trip, and I think they'll be fine. No need to push the panic button just yet. We've got some time for that.
Remember what I said last week. With 69 games after the All-Star break, the Pirates could go 34-35 and still win 90 games. Yep. All right. A reminder, keep the tweets coming. Keep the Facebook posts coming. You can find us on Twitter at WPXI Final Word, on Facebook at The Final Word. Also, if you have any good Instagram pics, send them our way. And a viewer video. We have one right now, and an opinion on the Pirates.
Okay, another nice win for the Pirates today. Gurley, another save. We should have had another win the other night. 5-4, the Pirates lost. McCutchen on third base, no outs, Bonham in. That comes down to coaching. That's why I got my fingers on the panic button. Not because of the players, because of the coaching. Better decision-making wins you that game. We will need that in the playoffs.
All right, I like that guy. He comes with props. From the Pirates to the Steelers, in tonight's first highlighted tweet, the Steelers report to St. Vincent Friday. Which position battle intrigues you? This tweet says running back. Would love to see Bell grab the job and get the ground game back. Wheaton is also one to watch. That's from Amon81. Yes, the Steelers are ready to kick off the season. They report on Friday, first practice Saturday. Will the players be ready to get down to business?
What might have been tolerated in the past as kind of a little lazy step here and there will not be tolerated this year. I think that it will be more of an emphasis on some real high energy, high octane production each and every step you have on the field.
So conditioning going in has to be at a premium.
Oh, there's no question about it. Lay down your donuts, brother. It's time to get serious.
What a hat. Craig Wolfley talking about camp. And what position battles intrigue you? Mark Kaboly covers the Steelers for the Trib. Mark, welcome to the final word. Take it away.
Well, look at me. What do you think I'm going to say? I'm going to say offensive line. Of course. That intrigues me the most because you know what? That is by far their most talented group on this team. You got two number ones, two number twos, and Ramon Foster who plays extremely well. But my issue is depth across the team, just not on the offensive line. The offensive line might be where it shows up first because behind those front five, you really don't have anybody. You have a guy that has 4 career starts in Calvin Beecham. You have a guy like Guy Wimper at tackle where I believe he gave up 14 sacks last year for Jacksonville. That just doesn't cut it in depth, and you can go across the entire team position by position, from the safeties to the corners to the tight ends to the inside linebackers. Depth is an issue on this team. They got probably the best 22, I think, maybe in this league. But past that, they're in trouble.
Well, Kaboly, I know that the offensive line does have some battles, and I know we're going to be talking a lot about running back as Latrobe gets closer. I want to see Jarvis Jones win that right outside linebacker spot. I don't want to see Jason Worlds on the field. I want to see impact from that position. For the Steelers to get back to being the Steelers, they need to start being intimidating again. That comes with Woodley and Jones coming off the edges.
The running back is going to be a big spot for the Steelers, of course. The rookie Bell in there, I think they want him to be the number one, the starter. We'll keep a close eye on that. The tight end situation is going to be very interesting. Heath Miller, we don't know how long he is going to be out. Matt Spaeth has come back. Is he going to be the go-to guy, the number one guy at tight end? A lot of positions. And as Mark said before, depth is an issue all over this roster. So it'll be interesting to see those draft picks if they're able to lend that depth to the team this season coming out of camp.
Hey, I like Jason Worlds.
All right. Mark Kaboly's final word debut, a panic button, and Craig Wolfley's hat. And that's just the first segment.
And donuts.
and donuts. That's right. The Steelers' first practice Saturday. It's open to the public. By the way, you can get the entire training camp schedule on our website, WPXI.com. In a few minutes, we'll debate whether the involvement of NHL players in the Olympics is good or bad for hockey. But up next, we'll get back to the Pirates. With the trading deadline approaching, what moves do they have to make? All right, here's a tweet. Trade for a bat. Give up a prospect for a ring. That's from Darla Quinn 3. Thanks for the tweet. We'll be back.